Have you gone cold turkey on dropping things out of your diet, or whether it's food or drink, or have you gone cold turkey when it comes to smoking or drinking alcohol or drugs of any type? Now, I've never consumed drugs or alcohol of any type in my life, but I have gone cold turkey on removing foods out of my life. And it is hard. It's really, really hard. We have cravings. Food is addicting. So let me backtrack. I've told you how I've had to eat super, super healthy the first part of my life. Our parents, when I say our, I have an identical twin sister. We both had this same illness and we were kept on a strict, strict diet for so long. Well, we hit our teen years and went kind of crazy and we got sick and our health backtracked. Well, then I get into my late teens and I met my husband at the age of 19 and just, I had adopted the standard American diet as my own. As I moved out of my parents' house, I had roommates and I wanted to eat how I wanted to eat. And I didn't really take in consideration my health and what it would do. Well, fast forward a little bit, I marry my husband, and a couple years later, I get pregnant with our first child. And I was, still consuming the standard American diet, falling into every craving. You get it. If you are a woman that have had pregnancies, you know those cravings are real, right? And I worked at a place where right across the street was a grocery store, and I can't tell you how much chocolate milk I consumed, in the morning first going into work. And then they had these candy machines at work. And it was my weakness. Reese's Pieces, I tell you, I would go by the candy machine and fill my hand 3 and 4 times a day with just a huge handful of Reese's Pieces. And I would just eat those like it was going out of style. And so my first pregnancy, I did not eat healthy one bit. I mean, it's not to say I didn't have healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, but I just didn't take in consideration my health. So when I hit my last trimester, the last 6 weeks of my pregnancy, it hit me hard. I started feeling super sick. I started coughing up blood and I was so, so sick. And I just remember thinking, God, I want a lot of kids and I don't want to be in bed sick all the time raising kids. And God knew I wanted a large family. And so I didn't want to be stuck in bed sick. And so I didn't know what to do at that point other than I just was like, okay, there's got to be something that's done. And so my parents obviously was concerned about my health. And so they're like, hey, come listen to the speaker, come listen to him and see if there's anything that you would like to get out of it. And so I showed up and it was this guy. And he had been, and he used to be a rancher, a huge meat and potato man, right? And he hit rock bottom with his health, with strokes and different things, and he was hospitalized. And something inside him told him, "It's done. I'm done." So he changed his complete diet, and he went strict vegetarian for health purposes to save his life. And so he was on a mission to talk about going vegan for people and turning your health around. Well, so he's given this thing, and I talked to him at the end. I'm like, that sounds really nice. Like, I don't know, it's so hard. And he's like, tell you what. And my parents had obviously talked to him about my health conditions. And he said, tell you what, at this point, you don't have anything to lose. Try going strict vegetarian for 2 years. I know that's a long time, but do it for 2 years. If you don't feel better than you have ever felt in your whole life, then go back to how you were eating. But you got to commit to 2 years. Can I get a commitment from you? Like, just, this is something, do it for you, do it for your family, do it for your baby. If anything, do it for her. And of course he brings a baby in, right? Us moms are going to do what it takes to, be a great mom or whatever. And he didn't get me into it. He just said, I know you've struggled with health and just, I would like to see what this does for you. And so I committed to going strict vegetarian. My husband came with me and I thought, this would be cool to do as a family. I would love to have him on board with me and that would make it so much easier. And he wanted nothing to do with it, right? He was like, I'm going to still eat my meat and potatoes and I'm not doing anything that you're doing right there. And I'm like, that's fine. So I just remember he would order pizza every night for the first 2 weeks I went strict vegetarian. He he just, cheese is so addicting. I would watch him eat that pizza and the cheese just stretch and my mouth would just water. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want some so bad. And he's like, what's stopping you? Come eat it. Come on, come have it. And I'm like, I can't. I've made a commitment and I'm gonna do it for 2 years, right? That was my thing. I'm like, okay, you can do this for 2 years and then I can eat like you and I'll have what you're eating. And um as time went on, I felt better and better. And that 2 years, and I went a whole 2 years, and that 2 years turned into 11 and a half years. And I had never felt so good in my entire life. I never got sick in those 11 years, hardly ever. Now, one time I did get the flu. I had the flu, and there would be a few times off and on where I'd feel like a sore throat coming on. It's flu season, and I would feel a sore throat coming on. But as soon as I was taking my home remedies, it would be gone. It would be gone before mid morning. And it was like, boom, okay, I can do this. And I never got sick. Now, you guys, for me, this was unheard of. I had been coughing my whole entire life. Cough, 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 cough. That's part of cystic fibrosis. And so I coughed quite a bit. And for those 11 years, the coughing stopped. I didn't cough. And I felt so, so good. Well, you're like, if you felt so good, why at 11 and a half years later did you quit? Well, I was in my fifth pregnancy. I was in my fifth pregnancy at the time, and it was a super, super cold winter. And we went to a function and they had chicken. And I'm like, that just smells so good. And it looks so good. And my husband's like, just eat it, just try some. And I caved in, right? I caved in to the temptation and I ate it. Well, that was the end of it, right? You're a pregnant woman craving things and you're like, well, whatever. I'm just gonna, and that was probably a really bad turn that I took for my health because it took me, so this was my fifth child, and it took for that fifth child of mine, and when he was about 6 or 7, I know when he was about 6, I told my husband, I have to go back to being a strict vegetarian because I feel good. My body operates good and I don't want to feel like this. But anyway, at that point I wasn't ready to commit. And I think I had to go through some health issues sometime later to figure out what was best for my body. Now, I am not condoning a strict vegetarian diet because it's not for everybody. I did so well on it because my body does not handle dairy whatsoever. It creates more mucus in my body because that's what it does. It creates more mucus and and also meat. My body does not digest meat very well. I dealt with constipation most of my life and tummy troubles. And a lot of times when I had the stomach troubles and things, I was not associating it to dairy and meat. And that's what it was doing to my body. Because when I was strict vegetarian for 11 years, 11 and a half years, I felt so good and I didn't have I didn't have any of those problems going on. So just a lot of things. So listen to your body. What can your body handle? What can it not? Try different things. But again, I don't condone it and say it's great for anybody. I think it's awesome if you find yourself in a really big health crisis and you are not doing good. It is a great idea to start with that and start taking things out and implementing. So I will get more into because my choice of foods and diets have gone on twists and turns, right? So I'm going to get into that on the next episode. So thanks for watching Made to Heal with Angela Brown. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Also, I do have a 12-week online course for Christian women to help women heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I dealt with a lot of childhood trauma, not only having this sickness, this disease that loomed over me the first several years of my life, I had to deal with abuse, verbal, physical, and I get into that later when I share my journey. So I have been able to overcome depression and suicidal thoughts of 30 plus years, and I didn't have any self love or felt like I had anything valuable to offer this world. And I have been able to change through tools that God literally had directed my way and taught me. And so I pass it on to Christian women. So we truly are made to heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And I have a ton of tools that will help in the healing process. So invite your mom, sisters, friends, coworkers, neighbors, and join on your journey of healing. And the journey of healing is never done, but it is such a joyful journey because you learn tools and are able to get where you want to go. And it's a great start. So that starts April 1st and it goes to June 17th. And it's all online. And so you can do it anywhere you find yourself in the world. And it also includes a one-on-one phone call with me each week to get your targeted areas that you'd like to reach. And also it includes an hour to an hour and a half Zoom call in a small group setting of like-minded women that are just here to grow in Christ and in health spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And so do that. Join it. The link will be in the comments below. So also, I want to, again, thank you for watching, taking the time, and go ahead and like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.